Hello. This week's Way to Be a Better Human is inspired by love. Everyone needs a little more love. We need to give more love to receive more love. It can be romantic love to those who it's appropriate with, kinship love to our family and close friends, even platonic love to strangers on the bus or your landlord. Remember, what you put into the universe, you receive from the universe, so why not put in a little more love? Hello, boils and ghouls, and everyone creepy in between. This is another episode of the Average Ghost Mom podcast. Okay, so I put in some thought into this one, and I just hope that I did my notes right. I want to preface today's episode with that though I I am spiritual. It is my own path. So any research that I have done is for myself. Um, I know I've said this in the past in a past episode before, but there there is no necessarily like right and wrong way on following your path. For those who are Wiccan or pagan or if they practice witchcraft, I know my spirituality tends to take from those things, and that's kind of like the base of my spirituality. But I don't really I would not say I'm a witch though, cuz like I don't practice spells. Um I mean technically I do some rituals, but it's not like quote unquote witchy rituals. It's just more of like self-care rituals or like spiritual rituals, if you may. Anyway, so I've done some research on what I want to talk about today, but it's slightly biased research. It's not full complete information. It is just enough information for me to kind of give you the gist of what it is. If this is something that you're interested in, I definitely encourage you to do more research into this and how today's topic can play a part in your life if you see fit, or certain aspects from today's topic. Because, I mean, I'll be the first to say that every year I'm like, ugh, Kristana, you know what? Like you've got to be more organized. You want to celebrate the seven Sabbats, and every year I fail to do so. So I am telling you guys my next goal to have done by the end of the calendar year is to have all my Sabbats written out, to put in calendar reminders on my phone about my Sabbats, and to have a goal and a plan on how I want to celebrate them and what I want to do for them, how I want to decorate for them. Um, and so, in the next handful of episodes, I should hopefully have a more detailed plan about my Sabbats that I'll probably share with you guys if this is something that you're interested in. Of course, this whole blogcast is basically just about me and my life and everything. So if you're not interested in it, but you still want to listen to me, you know, do as you wish. I can't stop you. So we are in the month of August. The day I'm recording this is my sister's birthday. So happy birthday, Andrea. You're a whole year older. You did it! You made it a whole nother year. Congratulations. So proud of you. Um, I I still think you're 12 though, mentally. Just putting that out there. It's okay though. So, we're in August. Um, we are the mid-month of the third quarter. So just as a reminder to those who need it, hey, we're coming up quick on the end of the year. If there's anything you wanted to get done this year and you haven't started it yet, you probably really need to start it, you know. For those who are going into school this year, you know, make sure you got all your stuff together because, I mean, my kid's school starts in 2 days. Oh, dang, I forgot to get her another raincoat. It's okay. I have to run back to the store anyways because I forgot to get milk and water today. Y'all, the water here in Huntsville is not drinkable. Technically, by FDA standard, it is. I assume by FDA standard. Technically, it is drinkable, but it tastes nasty. They took out the fluoride, and I don't know what they are or are not doing to the drinking water anymore, but it tastes gross. So I have to purchase my water again if I'm going to stay hydrated. But what I am drinking today is vitamin water. I'm drinking the Dragon Fruit Power C one. It's pretty good. I like it. I'm taking a drink break right now. Hold on. Gotta keep the whistle wet. Anyway, so yeah, just a reminder, we are coming into the middle month of the third quarter. That is the second to last quarter of the year, okay? We are but on other terms, we are almost to the Burr months. Ooh, September, October, November, December. Ugh, it is. I look, people have been posting about Summerween, and I've been like loving it. And it's August, and places are already putting out like Halloweeny, Octobery, fall stuff. Um, the Dollar General by my house has a whole table of pastel Halloween stuff, and I'm going crazy over it. Like, I want to go in and purchase so many things for Ava's room, but at the same time, reasonably, I know I A, can't purchase that much money's worth of stuff, but B, she doesn't need all that crap. C, where the heck is she going to put it? Her room is only so big, and it's full of a Barbie house right now. It's got a big old Barbie house, which I'll talk about that next episode. But yeah, I know reasonably I don't need it, so I'm not gonna give in. I'm trying to do better at not just like recklessly spending money because I'm an adult and I can spend my adult money how I want to. And I am doing a really good job this cycle, this credit card cycle, at being a responsible adult. Um, the trip that we took back in June kind of messed me up because I was kind of reckless in, oh, let's get this, let's get that. I want a snack, I want a drink, I want Raising Cane's for lunch. It's a trip, it's okay. I'll figure it out later. And I do, it's all figured out, but it's a little bit more than what I wanted to spend. But it's okay. It was all in the sake of vacation. So, let's see. We are currently in Leo season. That is from July 23rd to August 22nd. So, happy Leo season to all you tigers out there. Coming up at the end of August is Virgo season. That's August 23rd to September 22nd. So, can't wait for all you Virgo babies to turn a year older. Um, so one thing I don't think I said this in my last episode, and maybe I did, but one thing that I did not realize until I had started my spiritual journey is that every single month has a full moon. Okay? I didn't know that. But I know that now. And every month's moon, every full moon, did I say full moon or new moon? I think I said full moon. Every month of the year has a full moon. Some months have two full moons. Um, I think only one month has two full moons because we have 12 months, but a moon makes 13 cycles in a year. I think that's what it is. Um, and that second moon in the second full moon in the month is called a blue moon. So that's kind of where we get the phrase like, oh, once in a blue moon, because a blue moon only comes once every year. But the month that it comes in changes. Now this does not dictate super moons or blood moons. Those I don't know how we figure out super moons and blood moons. That's out of my range of knowledge. But blue moons are the second full moon in a month, which only come once a year. Um, and in that month, because like every full moon has a name, like the wolf moon, the strawberry moon, the flower moon, the buck moon, um, in that month when there's two, the first moon, the first full moon is the titled moon, and the second moon is the blue moon. So we don't have 13 moon names, we only have 12. But that's because that second one, that 13th moon that happens, is a blue moon. So for August, it is most commonly, well, to me, what I've heard most commonly, going along like a more pagan stream, is it's called the sturgeon moon. Um, Other names for it, though, is the corn moon, the barley moon, the grain moon, the rye moon, the green moon I've seen, but I most commonly refer to it and know it as the sturgeon moon. But corn, barley, and grain are also very relevant names for this moon. Um, I will let you know really quick. It's called the sturgeon moon because the indigenous this okay, I don't know if that's the proper word, the proper term. Please do not cancel me, okay? I am unbeknownst. But indigenous, the little blurb I saw said indigenous people can would are able to catch freshwater sturgeon easier at this time. And so that's why it's called the sturgeon moon, is because they can catch freshwater sturgeon easier. um, I think it's, what is it? Is it the I don't remember which moon. Maybe the June moon or something is the strawberry moon, and that's because if you plant strawberries at the earliest when you can plant them by the strawberry moon is when most of them, that's like their peak ripeness, generally speaking, in the season. Um, so the sturgeon moon is, I don't really know if this I don't know how to phrase this correctly. It's not that like the sturgeon moon stands for things, but it does. Or maybe this is things that you're supposed to take into account during this moon. But it's associated with freedom, perseverance, and gathering. So let me see. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. So this moon is associated with the pagan holiday Lammas. Um, Lammas also has another name if you're going by Celtic tradition, but that is an Irish word, and I don't know how to speak Irish, and I'm not going to try to butcher the name. So I go with Lammas because it is so much easier to say. But for those who celebrate the other holiday, it's the same, basically. There might be like a couple little things between pagan and Celtic traditions that differentiate each thing, but for the most part, it's for the same reason. Oh wait, no, hold on. I read something that like in the Celtic tradition, it's about worshiping a specific god, and the god's name is the first part of the holiday name that the Celtics say. It's about worshiping this specific god because of something that he did right now. That's what it was. Ugh, I'm so stupid. I should have wrote that down and I didn't. But it's like Langahunis or something like that, which I know is probably not how it is, because people look at Samhain and say, "Oh, that looks like if you would pronounce it Samhain," and it's not. It's pronounced Samhain. So I know, and it's Irish. Irish, like, it never looks like what it is. So I know I'm not pronouncing that right. I'm sorry for those who do celebrate that I've butchered the name for the sake. But either way, the moon, also being called corn moon, barley moon, grain moon, is associated with the pagan holiday of Lammas that happens in August. Um, Lammas happens is the this is the exact middle day between the summer solstice and the autumn equinox. So Your solstices, just as a reminder, we have a summer and a winter. So it happens at the top of the year. And well, okay, I say top and bottom. I'm talking about like the wheel of the year. Like if it's in a wheel, the winter solstice is like 12 o'clock and the summer solstice is like 6 o'clock. So it happens at the top and the bottom of the year for the longest and the shortest day. And then your equinoxes, equal, equa, equal, nox, standing for night. Your autumn and your spring equinoxes, equal night, equal day. And so those are like at your 9 o'clock and your 3 o'clock. Okay. And Lammas would be at like 7:30 on the clock. It is the midway point between the summer solstice and the autumn equinox. So we still have slightly longer days and shorter nights. We're not quite equal yet, but we're not at the longest point either. And this is where the gathering part comes in from the sturgeon moon of being associated with gathering is because this is the time when your major first harvest of the year, because of course like you're harvesting like fresh produce and stuff throughout the year, but as far as like things like corn, barley, grain, those things, this is the time, give or take some days, where it's like the first official big harvest of this stuff. um I also just want to say that oh, one note is the moon, like the celebrations of the moon for that month correlate to if there's a holiday in that month. So summer solstice happened in June, then there was nothing in July, but now there's Lammas in August. There's nothing in September, but then there'll be Samhain. Oh wait, no, there's the autumn equinox. Autumn equinox. I think that happens probably in September. I don't know the dates. Sue me. But wait, is it autumn? Wait, am I confused? I'm not confused. I kind of know what I'm talking about. It's just not. It's not pattern like that. That's what it is. It's not every other. But if there's a month that doesn't have like a celebration from the wheel of the year on it, the moon still has correspondence to things. It's just not in relativity of like a holiday. But like in this case, where the corn moon, as it's also known, is in August, it's going to correlate with Lammas because that's when you harvest your corn, you know? So another note, this one's more of just a reminder because I know I've said this before, is that the full moon is the time to reap the benefits of what you work on, to be happy and thankful for what you have, for things, to recognize things coming to fruition. And it's also time to start considering what things you can part with to benefit from later. So the full moon, because you put your intentions out there, you start your new plans and stuff on the new moon, because the new moon is for new beginnings, and the full moon is when these your projects and your things that you wanted should be coming to light. um and so now we're on the back end. Well, we're going to be coming into the back end. um and so we need to start, what are things that we can let go now. We've celebrated the things coming to light that we needed. We've celebrated getting our answers. We've celebrated our projects coming to completion. So now we need to look at what stuff I can let go. Is there any physical object around me that I can get rid of so that way I can have space for what's coming? You know? What mental things, what ideas in my head, what problems that I've created during this project can I let go of in order to be able to receive what's coming, right? So it's like making room for your next project during the next moon cycle. It's also just in your annual projects and goals and stuff, um to to take those into consideration too, because if your plate is too full, you can't take on any more food, you know? So you need to be able to let things go in order to put new things on your plate. So celebrate what has happened and start to consider what are things that you can let go of. Okay? Um, Lammas. Lammas, I like Lammas. I should have done something and I didn't because literally Lammas was yesterday and I just have not been on my game about these things. But 'tis what 'tis. There's a lot of personal stuff going on for me right now. I'm just a wee bit busy. Just a wee bit busy. But Llama celebrates the first harvest of the year. This is literally reaping the crops that you sow. Um, and it also obviously from there symbolizes reaping the uh the fruits of the big picture, right? So not only is it literally you're going out and harvesting food, but then also, this is the celebratory fact and why we continue to celebrate it every year. And we have a big celebration about it is, coming together and celebrating, all of your hard work that you've put in all these different things. Um, like I said, it's generally around the beginning of August, end of July. It's the halfway point between the summer solstice and the autumn equinox, and generally is used in the sense of you throw a big party with friends and family. It's a big celebration. It's also a time used for teaching others new things as well, because, like, theoretically, you have spent all this time working on this project, putting in like blood, sweat, and tears into something, into learning something new yourself individually, learning a new skill, learning a new, I don't know, building something new, for your family, for yourself, possibly for your community. And so then in the celebration, ideally, you all come together and you share the things that you've learned. You come together, if Tommy grew, God, I keep saying these examples over and over, but it's all that I've got. I'm so sorry. If Tommy grew corn, Tommy's going to bring corn to the big celebration. And if Bobby grew wheat, Bobby's going to bring in some loaves of bread that he baked from this wheat to the celebration. And if Susie grew green beans, she's going to bring in green beans to the big celebration. And I'll expand on that. If Billy built a shed to hold potatoes in, then he also more than likely built shelves for other people who have grown potatoes. And hey, we can all just keep potatoes in here in the community potato shed. And then maybe Timothy fixed up stables across the town or the village. And hey, our horses can all say in these stables, I fixed them up so they don't have to stay outside. So the celebration, it's not only congratulating you on what you've done, it's congratulating others on what they've done and being able to share each other's victory and being able to benefit from that as well. um which not everything is has to be like a group unit benefit either. Because sometimes there's just things like, hey, I did well for myself and I benefited this for my family. It might not be the whole community, it might just be their unit of community. But the community can be a big deal. And for me personally, it is the having community, having a sense of community with people, um, is something that I prioritize. I mean, just today we had a play date, and that was really important to me because we had been trying to plan it like all summer, but there was always something going on, or Ava wasn't even in the state to have a play date. And so when we finally got it today, there was a little bit of a uh, there's a little bit of unsureness on a scheduling part on my end, and we weren't sure if she was going to come over or not. But I was like, "No, please, come over. Like, don't let this deter you." And so we finally had the victory of having a play date, and It was so needed. I mean, I cooked some food, we drank some wine, the girls played. It was great. Um, so anyway, um, also Lammas is learn something new, eat dishes, Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Eat dishes infused with the things from your first harvest. So that's kind of what I was going into. Like for those who are growing things, like this is the celebration to share your feast. Um. Oh man, I've got a hole in my sock. Oh, these are old socks anyway. Whew. I thought these were one of my new socks. Okay, so sorry. Oh my gosh. But, this is something, it's not just, it's okay. Things like seasonings, like onion and garlic, you can just simply just season some food with these things, and you can make extra, you can share the seasoning with friends. So you have your like 5 jars of onion powder, but you made 16 so everyone else can have some too. You know, um most of your dishes are going to be things like bread and corn, like I've stated like 15 million times already. But also pies as well is like a very common major-ish dish for this, because there's a lot of fruits and berries that are dunzo, you know. This is also a celebratory time for mending relationships that have gone awry, which is kind of funny because at the beginning of this this month, we're in August. At the beginning of last month, um, I uh, I decided to mend an old relationship of mine with somebody in my family, and it's just interesting that the next Sabbath celebrates those things. So this for me is kind of like the fruition of that, um, of mending that relationship and hoping that it stays good, you know, hoping that certain things don't happen to cause it to break again, you know? But and this doesn't have to be family. It can be friends. It's just most common is friends and family, really. Actually, those are really the only relationships you would have anyways with friends and family. Only relationships that are like worth it though. I mean, because you definitely, in my opinion, should not be mending like toxic relationships. Like, don't go back to that boyfriend, y'all. Okay, if you needed a sign, here's your sign. Do not go back to him. Okay, you need to work on yourself clearly, and you need to learn your self worth. Okay, because if you're going back to him after so many people in your life has been like, "Nah, girl, not him." It's you, not him at that point, you know? You keep putting yourself in those toxic situations cuz you don't think you're worth it. You don't have higher standards for yourself. And if you don't have higher standards for yourself, then you don't have higher standards of yourself. Cuz I tell you what, there is not a dang person who's got $50 million in their bank account right now riding in anything less than like a Bentley or something, okay? They're not out here like, maybe I should just get like a used car. I mean, because I don't really think. No! They know they're worth a Bentley. And you need to learn that you are also worth a Bentley, okay? You need to get your shit together and you need to understand who you are. You need to become independent for yourself because independent ladies do not give a shit about their man, in a sense, unless they want to, you know? The people who are too dependent on others because they don't understand their own worth, they go for the shit boys. Boys, not men. Shit boys. A man would not treat you the way that he does. So, that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. If you are too dependent on someone else, it's because you don't understand your own worth. And this is not the time to mend that relationship. No, ma'am. Mm-mm. You delete his phone number. You block him and you delete him. Okay? And you go sit in the forest and write down all your thoughts in a notebook. All right? That's what you need to do. You need to have a come to Jesus moment with yourself. All right? You need to go think about what you've done for the past 15 years. Okay? Where did it go wrong? What can you do to fix it for yourself for right now? Mhm. That's what you need to go do. Anyway, while you're out there doing that, I'm gonna go finish talking now. So you you go fix your problems with yourself. I'll just be over here. Anyway, for decorative purposes, hmm. Okay, so colors associated with Lammas, but also generally with this time anyways. Lammas is has deep associative roots with the timing, like people on the Sabbath don't just, come up with these holidays and then just go, whoopee, here's what we're gonna do, and here's how we're gonna celebrate it, and here's how we're gonna decorate for it. Like, they choose these colors for a reason. So colors associated is like golden yellows and bronzes and deep oranges and browns. This is you can see this in the trees. The trees are like helping you prepare and celebrate and decorate for Lammas, right? And it's just so beautiful. I tell you what, I'm out here living at the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. And after living in Mobile for 6 years, Mobile does not, their leaves don't fall, right? Their leaves, yeah, they like turn brownish, and some trees fall, but not all trees. And you still have some green leaf trees in the winter. So when it was fall here last season, oh my gosh, driving through the valley and seeing all these beautiful yellows and oranges and browns as the trees are all. You know what? Hold up, girl. Come back here for a second. Come back from the woods for a minute, okay? Let me tell you something, all right? Let me tell you something. You see these trees? And you see how they are turning oranges and reds and yellows and browns. They're beautiful, okay? You can see they're beautiful, all right? We can see they're beautiful. They're about to lose all of that. They're about to lose all of those gorgeous colors and leaves, and they're fixing to be naked for like 3 or 4 months, right? And that's okay because we know the trees always come back. The leaves always come back, right? And when you're sitting there in spring with all the beautiful flowers blossoming and everything, and then in summer they're bright, vibrant greens, you sit there and you're like, wow, think about it, okay? You're sitting there, you're looking at these trees, and you go, wow, they're so beautiful. And think about it, if they hadn't let go of the old leaves, if they hadn't gone through the harsh winter looking all naked and stuff, they would not be as beautiful as they are now, you know? And that's the cycle that they know they go through. Now, we as humans don't need to go through cycles like that, not near as frequent. But, girl, let me tell you, let that man go. Okay? Let that man go. He's 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 holding you back. Okay? You're stuck in this yellow, orangey, red, brown stage, okay? And at first, when you got into the relationship, we were like, "Oh, wow, he makes you so happy. That's awesome. That's great. You're thriving. You're doing beautiful. It's awesome." But you've stayed too long, and now everyone's like, "Are we sure? Are we sure?" Okay, that's you staying yellow and brown and red and orange for too long. If any normal person saw a tree that needed to shed its leaves stay in that state for months, years on end, that would be suspicious, right? People would be like, it's winter and that tree still has its leaves, its yellow leaves. That's weird. It hasn't let it go yet. It'd be spring. Oh, that's still weird. We went through a pretty couple nasty blizzards and that tree is still holding on to its yellow leaves. Huh, odd. You know, you'd go through these seasons. People will look at a tree and be like, "That's not normal. What is going on?" Okay, girl, you gotta listen to your friends and family. Okay, You are blinded by love. And it's fake love. It's not even real love. Okay? Even if right now you think it's right, if everyone else is telling you it's not, then you need to listen to them. Okay? Because love puts on a blindfold and you go stupid. You do. And you might not want to admit to it right now, but you need to. Okay? If you're going to succeed in life, if you're going to take hold of the opportunities that are about to be coming to you, you need to let him go. You need to focus on you. Okay? A spouse at too young of an age, at too mature of immature of a person is just going to accidentally hold you back. Okay? Even if they even if they want you to go and they're pushing you, go for your goals, go for your dreams. If you're doing this too early in your life, girl, you got to let him go. If he's toxic, if you're older in life and he's toxic and everyone around you has been like, "Girl, what?" Let him go. Okay? Shed your leaves, go through your disgusting era of just laying in bed and doing nothing for like 20 days, okay? Only eating uncrustable sandwiches and the crumbs from them on your bed the next day, all right? And then realize that you are the shit, okay? And you deserve the best. And who's going to get you the best? You. You are. You're not going to settle for some shit, man. You're going to have higher standards and you're going to go for them, all right? Because if freaking, I don't know. Actually, I don't have any good couples on hand right now. I'm not really in social media or whatever. Oh, you know what? That couple from Smosh. Oh my god, it's the blonde guy and the blonde girl. They got married like last year. And they're on Smosh. And I can't think of their name. Courtney's the girl. I know that. And I can't remember the guy's name. I can't think of it. Anyway, if Courtney and that guy can work together for years and they can find each other and get married and then have this great, wonderful relationship because they're cute, so can you. All right? You just need to set higher standards. All right? It does not matter if he's a great guy with a nice personality. If he doesn't have a fucking car, no. We ain't out here getting scrubs, girls. Okay? We're out here. Oh, I was about to say something else, but actually, my mom listens to this podcast, so maybe I shouldn't. Here, if any mother, just fast forward like a minute or two, okay? So I can say what I want to say without embarrassing you, all right? And anyone who could be embarrassed by what I'm going to say, like my grandma, you probably just fast forward, okay? Fast forward a minute or two, starting right now. Girls, we are not out here getting scrubs. We're out here getting chubs, okay? I'm gonna tell you what. All right. We ain't out here getting skinny Richards, all right? We are aiming for the big fat Richards, okay? Do you catch my drift? Do you know what another name for a Richard is? What's a nickname for Richard? Go with it, okay? All right? So look, if you got one that's got a doable Richard for you, go off of that. Okay? Then, does he have a personality? Then, does he have a car? Then, does he have a house? Did he graduate and has a degree? Which, depending, a high school diploma is fine. Is he certified in anything? You know? Can he fend for himself? Can he cook? Does he have a good. Oh, you know what a good one is? Unless the parents are absolute shit. Does he have a good relationship with his parents? You know, because I know like a drug addict mom or dad or both, I probably would not keep a relationship with them, and therefore I would not blame if no one else kept a relationship with their drug addict parent, you know? But like, if he moved out and he's like, yeah, no, I just don't really talk to my parents anymore. Oh, why? Yeah, I don't know. Ugh, no. Get a man that understands that family is important because then he will not bitch and moan and complain when you want to see your family. Now, if you both don't like your families and you both agree, nah, we don't need our families, Okay, then I guess maybe I could support that, but that seems kind of a fishy trait. That's all I'm gonna say. I maybe might not have you in my friend group if you don't uh prioritize family units, but that's on you. Either way. And you know what? While you're dating people, ask the hard questions, okay? Maybe go out on a first date, maybe even a second date. Do not give the punani at third date. That's all I'm gonna say. Break that. Maybe punani on like fifth date. Ask the questions. Ask the hard questions on the second and third date, you know? If you're just out here to have a good time and you want to take your time with dating, then do what you want. But if you're out there to get yourself a spouse or find some people who are not going to waste your time, ask the hard questions right off the bat. How many kids do you want? What is your idea of a healthy relationship? You know, do you snore at night? Do you expect me to cook dinner every day after work? You know, do you expect me to to keep in my feelings when I'm having a rough day? You know, do you have the space? One question I asked Josh when we started actually this was before we officially started dating because we were kind of just seeing each other and talking with each other, but we both were like talking to multiple people at the time. He told me one day when we were just he took me on a date. We were going back to his place after a date, but we weren't like officially dating yet. And he told me, he goes, "Hey, well, if you ever decide to go back into dating and like officially am looking for like a spouse, could I be considered?" Like he basically asked me, when you start dating, will you consider to date me? And I said, yeah. I did say yes. Obviously, I said yes. But I remember one of those times before we were officially dating, went back to his house and we were laying in bed and we're just talking. We're still, working on getting to know each other. And I asked him, I said, "Why should I not date you?" You know? Like through his eyes, what is his worst quality? What is a quality that is worse enough to him that he would say, like if this was like in any other man, that he would say, yeah, no, don't date them because of this. So in him, what is his worst? What's your worst quality? Why shouldn't I date you? Ladies, listen. If he comes back and he says, I don't got any bad qualities, red flag, run. No. If that man cannot introspectively tap into himself and realize, ooh, yeah, I've do got some bad qualities, and you're serious about trying to maybe consider dating this guy, if he can't tell you what his bad qualities are, mm-mm, no. There's a difference between if it's like, well, I don't know if they're like, actually, no. Everyone's got a bad quality. There's no perfect person out there. So even if his answer is, well, I don't know if you'd consider this like a bad quality, but sometimes I leave my socks next to the laundry basket. No, that's bullshit. That's just an annoying habit. That's fixable. I'm talking like, what is a quality that you possess that either A, you don't care to fix, but it's a major one. This is like a major make it or break it thing, you know? Like what it I just if he says some bullshit answer, or if he's like, "Oh, I don't have any." No, run. If he says he doesn't have any, run. If he gives a bullshit answer, maybe entertain the idea for a little bit. But there's got to be something else with him, you know? Anyway, this kind of really took a turn. Really took a turn. But look, just like with the leaves, letting go of things that are holding them back from becoming much more beautiful, so do you, okay? And I know I went really super heavy on the boys thing this time, which for any person dating not a boy, just substitute, okay? them, they, she, okay? It's applicable across the board for any two humans that are trying or looking to date, okay? But you have to be able to let go of things in order to progress, right? Um, Rivers are not just made by gliding along the top of land, okay? Rivers are made because there's a cut in the earth. The earth loses a part of it. I mean, technically it's misplaced. It's placed elsewhere, but go with me on this. The earth loses, gets rid of a part of it so this river can be formed. And rivers change the way they flow. Not the way they flow, but like the pattern that they flow. You know? Um Gosh, there's words for this, and as always, I can never find the words. Erosion, there's the word. Rivers erode. So if something happens, the river sometimes cuts into its loop a little bit harder and erodes away. The river is getting rid of dirt and rocks and trees and debris. It's letting it go so the river can expand, so the river can flow better, okay? And you need to find those things and let go of them, okay? People should not stay the exact same, holding on to the exact same things, doing the exact same thing 365 days a year for 75 years, okay? They just shouldn't, all right? I'm going to touch on a little bit of topic on the time I have left. You go through phases, right? The earth goes through phases. It goes through 4 phases a year, okay? Humans go through phases, all right? When you're a child, a young child, you can't talk, you can't walk, or you can, and you're getting into things, you're learning things. That's a phase. Then when you're an older child, but not quite an adolescent yet, not even a teen yet, you're exploring things, you're understanding things, you're asking questions, you're pushing boundaries, respectfully almost. That's a phase. Then you get to become a teenager. Oh my god, shit phase, but it's a phase. And your body is going through changes too. Your body is getting rid of stuff. It's adding things, it's growing things, it's changing, it's going through a phase. And then once you're a young adult, oh, look, my butt is so tight, it's so big, and my abs, holy cow, and I have like flawless skin, and my hair's beautiful. Boom! Pregnancy ruins you. Phase. Post pregnancy, going and being a mother. Oh my gosh. Going through, hopefully, 18 years of motherhood. So then, not only have you experienced yourself being a child, and then a young child, and then a young adolescent, you're watching and helping somebody else do it. Going through their phases, helping them through their phases, while also going through new phases for you because things sag, things turn colors, health stuff happens as you get older. All right, your body itself is not staying the same. And neither should your mind. Neither should your general life, okay? Now, I get you've got a job, you've been there for 30 years, it's fantastic, it's great, that's fine, okay? You come in, you do the work, you go home, all right? But the conversations you have are not the same, all right? You have different conversations with your coworkers. You have different conversations with the consumer of whatever your job is, okay? Things are still different in day to day, and you have to make sure to keep things different in day to day, all right? And you have got to learn when the time to move on is. Because if you stay and hold yourself, you will be miserable. And why would you want to purposely live a miserable life? Okay? We are not put on this earth to walk the same footsteps every day for 60 years. All right? We're just not. We're humans, and that's not how we were meant to be. So, if you need to sit down and you just need to take into account your life, and if there's anything that doesn't quite sit right with you, how can you change it to make it sit right? In a reasonable, respectful fashion, because if your kid is like, I don't know, 6, like mine, and talks a whole lot like mine, you can't just tell her to shut the hell up, you know? That's not being very respectful to your child. But if you don't like your job, do something about it. Do something responsibly about it, okay? If you just need to go get a new job, go do that. If you need to go back to school, figure it out. Anyone can figure anything out, okay? It might take longer for some people. It might not be the right time right now to make that change. But if you can put a timeline on it, if you can say, well, when this event happens, or when something like this happens, or by this date, I will have a new job that I enjoy. Do it. Okay? People who stay stagnant have no purpose and no goal in life, right? People, I mean, look at the successful, like, billionaires and stuff. They have multiple acquisitions, right? They don't do one thing and only one thing and stay to the one thing that's loading in the money, right? Some people do the one thing, get the money coming in, and then sell it off and go on to the next project. Some people keep that one thing, but add on more. Because, okay, we've got this one down, it's flowing, it's going. What's the next thing? What's the next thing coming for me in life? What's the next better thing? What is something else I can do to keep my brain moving, to keep my brain sharp so my brain doesn't stay stagnant? You know? People, don't stay stagnant. Same with relationships. If your relationship, you need to have new goals in your relationship, like all the time. Okay? If your relationship is staying stagnant, if all you do is get off of work, come home, hi honey, oh, dinner's ready, thank you, eat dinner, watch TV, go to bed, and that's it, stagnant. Get a goal. Go on a trip. Go on a trip. Even if it's a small trip, even if it's like a staycation or something, Make a goal. We go eat once a week at a new restaurant in town. And then when we get done with this town, we'll go over to that town. Make a goal, make a plan. All right? If right now you guys just live in an apartment and you're just, yeah, this is just it. No. Do you want children? Do you want to get married? Do you want to have your own house? Because if those are on the line, there you go. New goals. Okay, well, what's the plan for children? Maybe, you know, maybe we should get a house first before we try and have children. Hey, there's an idea. So start saving your money for a house. You know? I just be happy with where you are, but don't be too comfortable. And that's a very specific, very, very specific terms. Be happy with who you're with. Because if you're not happy with who you're sharing your life with, who you're spending your life with, who is witnessing you live your life, that alone is a major no go for me. Okay? So, who you're with, where you're doing it at. Are you happy where you're at? Whether it's your house, whether it's the town or city, geographically speaking, are you happy? If you're not, talk to your significant other. If you don't have one, great. Figure out where you're going to move. Okay? Figure out if there's a job there for you. Figure out if there's a house there for you. Start looking into things. Is there family there that you can move to first and then find your own place? There's options. Or do you move to your family's house which is like a middle point? Like if you're moving like cross country, well, hey, how about I move to my parents' house? I live in New York. I'm going to move to Omaha for a little bit, you know, save up some more money because now I'm closer to Los Angeles. There's so many options. It's I just can't stress enough. Be happy with who you're with, what you're doing, where you're at. Okay? Even if you don't quite have a why, that's okay. As long as you don't stop looking for a why. Why am I doing all of this? What is my purpose in life? If you continue to look for your purpose in life, then is your purpose for now until you figure it out. But understand, the earth goes through phases and seasons, and so do you. And if you stay stuck in a season for too long, you will become unhappy. And that is what I'm going to end with. So, started with some August spirituality and turned into some what? Philosophical things. So, I love you guys. Just just keep your head up, okay? This is not where it ends. This is not the end. This is not the worst of it. Okay? I'm not saying there's going to be worse than this. God, I hope not, but look, y'all are still alive. You're still breathing. You're listening to this. You're doing fine. You're doing okay. You might not think it, but you are. Take a deep breath. Take into consideration what you have. You'll be okay. All right? Um for anyone with any thoughts, comments, concerns, questions, really, I would really like some feedback on what you guys thought of today's episode, and especially with how it turned out. Um, you could leave a comment or a rating on like Apple Podcast or Spotify, comment on YouTube. That would really help me. You can email me, averageghostmom at gmail.com. Message me on Instagram if you just want to chit chat and talk about some things. Average.ghost.mom on Instagram. And then I'm also on TikTok. Technically, I'm on TikTok. I still haven't posted anything on TikTok since my last episode. That's one thing I will get back in order by the end of the year, is posting on TikTok regularly. So, I love you guys. Have a fantastic evening. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.